everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Dori, I am a teacher of English, and today we will talk about Academic Writing Task 1 in IELTS and the strategy we follow. Okay, the first thing you should do is read the first part of the topic very carefully, because it usually explains all the information you're about to see in the diagram in detail. For example,
okay, so this is our task over here. So we read the first part of the question. We read, the chart below shows the annual profit made by 4 major international companies in 2011, 2012, 2013 and 2014. So these 4 companies are ABC 10, Mega Market, Grow and Flow and Today Global. Okay, so this is what we're going to see, the annual profits for 4 years from 2011 to 2014 for 4 major companies. These 4 here in the parentheses, all right?
Then read carefully the second part of the question and please underline the verbs, because this is what they ask you to do in the first place and this is what they expect to see. So task 1 is usually going to ask you these 3 things: to summarize the information shown in the diagram, to describe the main points, and to make comparisons. For example,
so this is the second part of the question. We read, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. We underline what we need to do, and in this case it is summarize the information, we underline that, report the main features, we underline that, and we compare, we make comparisons between the companies, all right?
Now it is time to actually look at the diagram or pie chart or graph or whatever in detail. So there's going to be a title. Read the title first and the titles of the axes if there are any. So for example,
so in this case we read the title. So here in this task we read, this is the title over here, and we read annual profit of international companies, right? And we carefully identify what the 2 axes represent. This is important. So these are the 2 axes over here. This one here, the horizontal one, and this one here, the vertical one. We don't want to get confused here. The horizontal one is about the years, right? And the vertical one is about the amount of money in millions, in dollars, right?
Apart from the titles, the diagram will also give you information about what the symbols or the colors that you're going to see actually represent. So try to find out which is which, what each symbol represents, and please remember that, keep that in mind throughout your writing. Let's see an example of that.
Now it is time to look at the companies, so we carefully examine what each color here in our diagram represents. In this case, blue stands for the ABC 10 company, green for Mega Market, yellow for Grow and Flow, the orange color for Today Global, etc, 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 if we had more. Okay, you get the picture.
All this information in task 1 at first sight might be overwhelming, I know, but if you follow these steps and this strategy, gradually you will familiarize yourself with these kind of tasks, and then you will become better and better. What is more, you're going to be calm and organized. Now it is time to look at what the diagram shows more closely. First of all, examine how the symbols or the colors change throughout the diagram or chart and make notes. Search for both a sudden change, for example a sudden rise or a sudden decline, and for a stable performance. You can search for that too. Now let's see an example of that.
So we can see that the profits of the ABC 10 company, the blue color, right, are increasing throughout the range of years, reaching their peak in 2014, right? Except for ABC 10, all profits drop in 2014, as we can see here. So in 2013, all companies performed better than 2012. And so I just gave you two examples here. Mainly, you see which companies performed their best, their worst. You just report the main features. This is what you need to do basically, right?
Here in task 1, you're not asked to state your opinion. So you are asked to report information, to summarize their changes, and then compare the different features with each other. And this is your last step. You should compare the information that you are given with each other by stating their similarities and their differences. For example,
so after you have described your information, you can start now comparing the companies with each other. So in this case, for instance, you could say things like, although the ABC 10 company earned much less money in 2012, over here, compared to Mega Market and Today Global, it steadily increased its income, becoming the most profitable of all companies in 2014. Additionally, you can say that Mega Market and GrowFlow earn more or less the same amount of money from 2012 to 2014. Just two examples of how you can proceed further with comparisons, okay? So mainly this is what you need to do when you are asked to compare companies with each other, all right?
Overall, it will be a formalization. Let's recap. First of all, read the question carefully and underline what you have to do. Secondly, read the title and the subtitles of the diagram. Thirdly, understand what the symbols or the colors in the diagram represent. Number 4, study the diagram and examine how the symbols change throughout. And last but not least, compare the differences and the similarities of the data that you are given. Okay, this is the strategy you need to follow for academic writing task 1. We will talk about the plan in a following video. Ask me your questions here or on Facebook, Twitter and Google+. I'll bet it all links down below. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck with your exam.